Hello, and welcome back to Ask a Newsworker. Today we're going to talk about power. We're going to talk about power and the powerful, who's powerful, who's not. Is the media powerful? Is the news media powerful? What is power? What are we talking about when we're talking about power in this case? Well, let's call power the ability to make things happen. I guess on a very base level, the ability to perhaps persuade people to think certain things, to do certain things. In that sense, I would say the media is certainly powerful. People look at the news, they read the news, they listen to the news. It affects them. Many people will report having watched a news report or read a news report or listened to something related to the news and feeling different afterwards, feeling motivated towards one course of action as opposed to something else. So I would say anything that can motivate a person towards a specific course of action that they might not have otherwise taken is pretty powerful. In that sense, I would say the media is powerful. And yet, this isn't discussed explicitly that much. You won't see news outlets say, we're really powerful. We're very, very powerful, and we can control how people think to some degree. You won't really see that on a major broadcast or on the front page of a newspaper or the main website page. I was going to say splash page, but I don't know if that's really a common term anymore. Just the main page or the main page of an app or something when you open up a news app. They're not going to say, we are the all-powerful news outlet. They're not going to talk about it that way. But if you think about it, if you reflect upon it, is the news powerful? Is the media powerful? Yes. The media can make you think things that maybe you hadn't thought about before, and that can be good. The media can make you think about how some people are suffering or experiencing turmoil, heartache, difficulty in ways that you had never previously considered. The news is a way to raise awareness. That's why people read the news, to become more aware of something. That's why a lot of journalists and editors and publishers are in the business at all. There's a lot of good-hearted people in the news business who want you to think about things that you hadn't thought about before, or in ways that perhaps you hadn't thought about before. That is power. It is a form of power to get a viewer, a listener, a reader to start thinking in a different way than they did before they consumed the news in question. A lot of people will say, I didn't know that. I was not aware of that. Wow. I'm going to live a little differently now. I'm going to choose a little differently. I'm going to speak a little differently. I'm going to write a little differently. And this can happen many times in a given day, depending how much news a person is consuming, depending on what they're watching, reading, listening to. So I think it's beyond debate, beyond dispute, that the news media is very powerful. But with that power can come a lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of responsibilities, yes. If a news outlet or a media outlet can effectively influence your thinking, influence your behavior, that means they can get you or anyone to do things or say things that they might not have otherwise said. And you can probably see where something like that can lead. There are many historical examples of a press outlet of some sort, a media outlet of some sort, that influenced its readership, its viewership, its listenership to do things that perhaps were not great for the surrounding environment, not great for the world. This is why people who aspire to power, people who want power, typically try to control a news outlet of some sort, a media outlet, have a media organ. There are terrorist groups around the world that have media outlets. And a lot of people think, that's a little strange, but it actually isn't. If you think about it, if their goal is to terrorize, if their goal is to scare people or influence people in a way so that they think, act, behave a specific way, of course, they're going to do it through many different channels, and one of those channels is media. In some ways, the mass media is the original influencer. In 2022, when I'm recording this video, influencer is a very common term, a very popular term. Oh, social media influencer, Instagram influencer, Twitter influencer, and influencer. But it's not really a new thing to influence people through the media. People have been influencing other people through the media really since the media was invented. It's debatable when that time first occurred. Some say the mid-19th century or the advent of the printing press, when widespread literacy first came about, and still hasn't come about in certain parts of the world, sadly. But the truth is that all media outlets seek to influence. All media outlets of any kind want you to think and act a specific way according to what they publish. And many of the people would acknowledge that because they want people to think better, in their opinion, think more carefully, think more wisely. Again, there's a lot of noble goals. There's a lot of good-hearted people, as I said, who want people to consume the media they put out so that they'll become better, smarter, wiser, more careful, more compassionate people. And that is a good thing in the end. To communicate to others, to help them become more kind, more compassionate, more patient, more understanding is a good thing. But that very same mechanism that exists within the mass media can also be used to spread rumors, to spread lies, to spread falsehoods, to get people to dislike other people for reasons they shouldn't, for baseless reasons. It can persuade or convince a person that there is a good reason to dislike or even hate someone else or a group of other people. Media organs are very powerful. That power can cut both ways. It can help, it can heal, it can hopefully fix division, overcome division, but it can also cause division. There's been a lot of situations still happening today where a media outlet will be the source of division within a community, within a society. There have been many uncomfortable stories around the world of communication, say digital communication, arriving in, say, a developing part of the world or a poor, impoverished part of the world. They're maybe getting things like Instagram or WhatsApp, text messaging capabilities, Facebook. They're getting these technologies for the first time, and a lot of people thought, oh, once we get these communication technologies into some of these places, people will all agree with each other immediately. They'll all be on the same page immediately. They'll all get along immediately. Sometimes that happens, but a lot of the times, as we've seen, and you can Google them, they're out there. There's been news stories of situations where Facebook was used to set one group against another, to effectively commit hate crimes, effectively get people angry at other people, some sort of political or social cause, and it has led to real violence, real death, and real suffering. Again, through the same apparatus, the same media mechanism that can be used to create harmony, understanding, mutual benefit. It can cut both ways, as I'm saying. So is the media powerful? Absolutely. Can that power be used for good? Absolutely. And a lot of the times it is. But that very same power can be used to hurt, to divide, to misinform, to mislead. I'm sure we've all seen examples of media outlets that have been very irresponsible and spread lies, spread untruths, falsehoods that other people have believed, and then they base their actions upon that belief. Media systems, media outlets have the ability to affect human behavior. People consume the media and then they behave differently based on what they've seen, what they've read, what they've listened to. That alone is a tremendous power. And that's why a lot of people want to get into the media. That's why a lot of people want to control the media. They want to control, in some sense, how people think, how people behave. There have been many cases throughout media history where a rich or influential person has tried to buy a popular media outlet that a lot of people pay attention to. And it's often not a money maker or anything. And people go, why are they even bothering this? Why are they even bothering trying to buy this? It doesn't make any money. But it's not really about money. It's a downstream effect they're seeking. They're seeking influence. People want to be in the media. They want to control the media to a certain degree so they can influence human beings like you and I. And that is why the media is powerful. Does this freak you out? Hopefully not. Does it seem true to you, what I'm saying? Does it seem false? Am I missing something? Is there something I should be mentioning that I'm not? Have I got it all wrong? Leave a message, send an email, like this video if you liked it, dislike it, I guess, if you didn't. Maybe like it anyway. Like it if you even disliked it. See, this is me trying to influence you to do things you might not want to do, just like a media person would. But no, I want people to think about power and media and how the two work together. So tell me what you think at the bottom in the comments. Send me an email or otherwise. And stick around because there will be much more on this topic right here on Ask a Newsworker. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.